Hey everybody, welcome to episode 27 of Exodus Americanus. I'm Stone. With me as always are Roscoe, the White Power Ranger, and Donald Bateman. How are y'all doing tonight?
Doing great, my man.
Doing good, boys.
Good deal.
Oof. That was nice. That was some high quality white culture right there.
It was
A lot less black.
Yeah, for that one person who complained about Exodus, or X gonna give it to you. There you go. No intro this week.
Now you won't get kicked out of the KKK for listening to our podcast.
Exactly.
We're making big strides.
Roscoe, you're safe. You can join back up as long as you delete it off your ringtone, or as your ringtone.
Now
That's
maybe Dr.
asking a
Duke will
lot.
come on. I think Duke was boycotting our show because of that.
It's probably the only thing keeping us off of terrestrial radio too.
It could be.
I think
No
everything
blacks
else
on
we're
our
in the clear on.
podcast.
So what a great fucking week, guys. The RNC it wasn't a circus like I thought it was going to be. You know, there was zero protests, and not all the speeches. There were the token Dindu preachers giving their fire and brimstone vote for Trump or die stuff.
That Ooga Booga preacher that went, I think it was the night that Don Jr. spoke.
Oh, dude, that guy was intense.
Yeah, it was. It was nuts, man. I wasn't ready for all that.
I
The
wish we
random
had-
Asian woman.
I didn't see
Asians
her.
for Trump. Like all
And the-
10 of them.
The Muslims for Trump guy that was doing the prayer.
Yeah.
Everyone's like, should we lynch him or just kind of sit through this one? I
Yeah.
guess we'll sit.
I felt like that performance really bombed.
Well, yeah. Look who he was speaking to.
I see what you did there.
Oh, I missed it. I'm dumb.
You don't have that high verbal IQ, boy.
I don't.
You're not
Hey.
as Jewy as me and Bateman.
I was down in I had to go down to Louisville today, and we had a little meetup, me and Roscoe, with Fash Gordon from the TRS forums. So
FBI
we were
agent.
yes,
Yep.
we were. So shout out to him. We had a good time for a few hours drinking. So,
Jerk each other off.
with our mouths.
Well, that's good. Then it's not gay.
No, I thought you're supposed to stop being so
Heterophobic.
Yeah, we got to reach that target demographic that doesn't blow dudes.
See, I'm telling you, it's that anime Nazi chat rubbing off on you. And rubbing off on you.
Yeah.
I don't know what to say about that. I've not contributed much, but I've
It's-
watched.
It's still like I have the Twitter messages open, and I had to mute it just to stop my phone from blowing up at 3 a.m. because that's when they would. It seemed like that's when they would post the most.
That's when the NEETs are at their height of their power. When the moon is at its heights, pointing in the sky.
It was a full moon this week, so
Yeah. Yeah, I turn off all notifications from Twitter, so I have to manually update them, because otherwise, like, my phone would just be buzzing at work all day.
Oof.
yeah, I'm
Something
gonna
like
have to do that now.
It happened in a
That's
meeting
fine.
once, and I was like, this is not good.
And my boss asked me why my phone was going off. I was like, oh, people added me to this group chat, and I can't get out of it.
That
It's
is a
kinda-
good recovery.
It's kind of
Yeah,
true.
I'm in a gay anime Nazi Twitter cabal, but I don't condone their activities, of course.
They've renamed it. It's Serg's Cutie Zone now.
There was some chick in there, and I told her that she wasn't white.
Yep.
Speaking of that, I almost got into a. Well, I guess I was the only one yelling. The other person involved in the conversation wasn't as animated as I was. They were talking about the savagery of the Spanish people and their bullfighting,
Oh, please.
and how the Spanish aren't white. And I was like, "Listen here, you motherfucker! Cortez was white."
Yeah. Cortez is one of the whitest for his actions.
And for his skin. Don't forget that he was also white.
Yeah, I've seen his statues.
And then Columbus, I mean, he was Italian, but then he was with the Spanish, right? That's how it works.
Portuguese.
Portuguese. Yeah, you know, one of those.
Don't Portuguese out on me, bro.
Mo Portugal.
Hard to believe that was one of the dominant civilizations there for a minute.
Yeah,
Right.
and Spain for that measure, because they're not doing too hot right now.
No,
Well,
they are not.
Mexico, Spain again.
Well, Italy's doing shitty. Greek's doing shitty. Italy obviously is doing really bad. So it's like all of the once great civilizations have fallen. I mean, London, Great Britain's doing bad.
That's an understatement.
France is, I mean, Germany terrible. The countries doing better are like Russia, China.
We're certainly not doing great.
No,
We are not.
not yet. Soon will be great again, though.
So we did a lot of winning this past week.
Yep, the God Emperor officially nominated.
The God Emperor was nominated. We got a little shout out on Bash the Nation.
We did.
Got a
Uh-huh.
retweet from Ricky Vaughn.
Yeah. Huge week. We had over 550 listens to our last episode. So thank
Quickly
you, everybody.
approaching 6 million.
Oh, and before we got a big old donation
Huge donation.
from
Huge.
at Jonah Not 19 on Twitter. I don't want to go, I guess, to say his name for obvious reasons, but
Bruh, that was above and beyond.
it was. That's awesome. That pays for our website for a year. So thank you very much. We appreciate that.
Man, thank you. That was just astounding.
Huge.
So if anybody else wants to throw some shekels our way, we take Bitcoin now, thanks to Kevin McTrump, Donald, whatever he has his name at. Freed humanity.
Well, yeah, because
and-
right now, 99% of the shekels are going to 1% of the podcasts. A specter is haunting the alt-right.
We need to catch up. So yeah, we take Bitcoin, PayPal, however you want to do it. It's all on our website. But yeah, we definitely appreciate that huge donation.
Human sacrifices. Those are preferred.
We
Butthole pictures.
we also take helicopters.
Yeah. Or
So we can
helicopter
take-
rides.
And we don't want to go on them. We want the helicopter to give rides.
It might be a fun ride, though, like if Trump gives you a helicopter.
Yeah, I'd take a helicopter ride with Trump. Well,
Oh, for sure.
I don't know. After that ride, he gave Cruz.
Ooh. Cruz
Fucking
just dropped
Cruz.
off the political cliff. Oh no, he jumped. He didn't. He wasn't dropped.
I mean, I just have to ask myself, what was his thought process there?
Well, it might have been the whole insinuating his dad killed JFK thing, or saying his wife was an uggo. I mean, I don't blame him. He's still a pussy, but I don't blame him for doing that.
Yeah, I mean, at least he stood up for his wife, so you got to give him points for that. But
You know, they didn't live together for like the first 7 years of their marriage.
I didn't know it was that long, but yeah, I knew they didn't live together.
Yeah, they have issues. They're both unattractive.
Well, yeah, he
Yeah,
looks
it's a
like
sex
he looks like a
appeal.
male Debbie Wasserman Schultz.
Ooh.
No, that's too mean.
Old Debbie, off her throne.
Ooh.
Except she's already been offered the honorary chairmanship of the Hillary campaign, like hours after she resigned.
I'm glad they're making it official and not like bother and trying to not make it look shady or anything.
Yeah, now we'll actually get some of her taxes instead of, just her getting paid under the table to support Hillary.
Right.
So what other kind of great wins did we have? We had
Alex Jones retook metaphorical Constantinople on the Young Turks.
He did.
Hold on. We're against Saudi Arabia, you dumbass! We talk about that all the time! Oh, really? We talk about that all the time! Shit! What, do you think the lizard people are in charge? No! Is that what you think? You're pissed Bilderberg? Is that what you think? You're the anti-liberal and you're pissed. Bullshit! We're being nice here. You know what I care about? I care about the American people. Good. You're the one putting it out. Anybody hurt? I'm being nice. I'm not lying. Everybody get the fuck off my stage!
Yeah. Sorry if that was too loud, guys. But it's terrible audio.
You think the lizards were in charge?
I'm being nice here.
That was a pretty sick burn, I'm not gonna lie.
So, one thing I want to say about Alex Jones, whatever negative things you want to say about that guy, I think anybody should be wary of taking a swing at him.
Yeah.
Dude's built like a bulldog. You might get a hold of something that won't let you go.
Oh, then
Well,
Roger.
he's got
Roger
that super
Stone
male
was in the background.
vitality. He's on the brain force. You don't want to go against a man on the brain force.
You know what we need? We need some Alex Jones drops to get this party started.
You know what it's like to go to sleep every night knowing you work for a bunch of psychotic killers? And
I don't have
Never
any of
gets
those.
old.
I don't have any of those. Ones.
What? What are you doing with your life, man?
Well, I think it's been confirmed that Alex Jones segments are our most popular part of the show.
Yeah.
Oh, no doubt.
We're kind of like a middleman between InfoWars and the listener.
don't like them putting chemicals in the water that turn the friggin' frogs gay. Serious crap.
I love the end. Crap.
It's crap.
It's amazing.
And so your sexual desire is now focused on children.
Fucking lowlies.
Right? Oh, fuck. That's funny.
Speaking of lowlies, like, I can't wait to... we'll need to purge the degenerates pretty soon after we get power.
These NEETs are going to have to be
Put in the
physically
work
punished. They're
Yeah,
gonna
we'll
have
put
to
them
be
in camps.
re-educated.
Yeah,
I
well,
want to kill about, get rid of like 10% just to set an example.
Well, that's one thing about like all this degeneracy and anti-white bullshit. Once you execute the staff of Harvard out on the lawn on national television, everybody else will get the message pretty fucking quick.
Yeah.
well, we're not just going to stop at Harvard.
Well, no, obviously we have to go to Columbia after that, and then Yale,
Yale and Brown,
Princeton.
Dartmouth.
Ah, jeez.
MIT. Well, maybe keep MIT. We need science, I guess.
Well, it's kind of like Jazz Hand said. You wouldn't want to stop the next Einstein from doing his sciencey shit.
Mm-hmm.
Just don't let him vote. I think that's a reasonable position.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
We can
Well, I
keep
saw
them
this quote
chained to the
by-
radiator in the basement.
I like it.
I saw this quote by Krugman, like Paul Krugman of the New York Times, and he said, "This is why Jews are liberal. Like, whenever you see racism, anti-Semitism isn't far behind." It's like, that's because you keep doing these things.
You keep destabilizing our nations, you
Like-
neurotic fucks.
No one on the alt-right is like, "Oh, those damn New Zealanders always subverting our politics," because they don't do it. If they did, we would call them out.
Yeah, if New Zealanders, if Kiwis had been kicked out of hundreds of nations historically,
Fucking kangaroo fuckers.
that's what happened to Australia. That's how they got cucked. They lost all their alpha males in the Emu Wars.
Yeah, that was
Well, with Australia,
was
it's
a
kind of
bloodbath.
like that should be our model. Just deport all the Jews to Australia and let them have at it.
That's what they like. They like deserts and they like cities.
What about
Yeah.
Antarctica? It's the biggest desert.
I'm pretty sure they don't like the cold.
Yeah.
Well, good.
Well, we're trying to be good guys.
We're not sitting them there for their health.
If they went to Australia, they'd probably subvert the kangaroos if they stopped raising their children in the pouch.
The pouch is the patriarchy. The patriarchy
Couch is very
pouch.
anti-progressive. I can't believe you would use the couch in 2017.
It's the current year. Come on.
I saw this thing. It was like, when Constantine turned the Roman Empire into Christianity, he didn't say, "Guys, we need to be Christian because it's 300 AD." That wasn't his argument.
That's pretty good out of 10.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, poor Constantine. We'll avenge him eventually.
We'll get that
It's
shit
pretty
back.
based.
One day soon. Micah.
Alex Jones will lead the charge.
Everyone would just be hopped up on brain force, retaking the Holy Land.
In World War II, the Nazis were on methamphetamines. In World War III, the Patriots are on brain force. That's it. Oh man, I better record that for Alex Jones. That's a commercial and a half.
It
That's
is.
how you break the conditioning. We should start having like non-ironic commercial plugs for Alex Jones products. Maybe we'll get syndicated.
Get on
Who needs
the,
TRS? We'll be on the InfoWars network.
Yeah.
What
Since
Move over, Paul Jones faggot.
Yeah, since Sven has taken so fucking long to get back to us about getting on there.
Oy vey.
We're breaking the
oh shit.
We shouldn't give Sven any shit because he's probably going to listen to this episode and decide whether we should be on there or not.
Then we should probably give him some shit because Bants provide value.
I don't have anything to bant him over this week. It was a really good show, a really good fascination.
Yeah, and they had a Goiler on, so I was happy about that.
Oh man, I
Yeah,
feel like
you
I got a lot of value out of that.
Yeah, you had another hate hike this weekend, didn't you?
Yeah, we went on a hate hike Saturday. Did like a circuit workout in the park before. Walked 5 miles. Helped build a wall in the trail.
Nice.
Like, I'm not kidding. These guys were like rebuilding the bike trail after, I guess, like the rain. And we helped them out, shoveled some dirt.
Helped build the
Good
wall.
times. I'm pretty sore. Like, we did a really tough circuit workout.
Yeah.
And then had like 3 margaritas at lunch after that. Just erased all progress.
Anything
did.
productive you did wiped
Yep.
out.
Worth it.
Definitely for the camaraderie.
It was nice though. Like, we went to this Mexican restaurant, like, and we got there right when it opened, so we were the only people in there. And we were just like, yeah, we're gonna deport all these people, but we're keeping this restaurant because it was good shit.
Well, I mean, a white person can bend a taco. It's fine.
Yeah, we'll keep the food.
Oof. So did either of you happen to catch, speaking of old AJ, I saw he had Milo on.
I listened to part of it, but I was only listening for drops. I was hoping for some of Milo's faggy British accent, and then Alex
Content
Jones.
farming.
Yeah, and Alex Jones yelling. I couldn't find anything, so much disappointed.
I listened to the Richard Spencer did a live stream right after Trump got nominated after his speech too. It was pretty good. And then he had one with Jazz Hands that was really good.
Yeah, I wanted to listen to Jazz on Red Ice, but I never got around to it.
Yeah. It was good with Spencer though, because he's seeming a little white-pilled after the convention.
Oh my God. I was so happy to hear him finally take the Pence pill.
Yeah. I mean, you can't fence the Pence.
Pence was he was pretty fucking good.
Yeah.
After listening to Flynn give his speech, I can see.
Flynn had a very bad speech.
Yeah, I can see why he went with Pence.
He was not a good speaker.
But
he did name the Jew on Twitter, like yesterday.
well, so did WikiLeaks. We'll get into WikiLeaks later, though, so let's not talk about that. Sorry.
Oh, that was the best though. WikiLeaks naming it.
I definitely didn't see that coming. And the thing is, I don't think that whoever was controlling that Twitter account even knew what it meant.
No, that's why they deleted it, because they figured it out. when they tweeted it, it was like a bunch of people wearing horn-rimmed glasses and with their names in parentheses.
Well, they had another message, and they said it was Anglo-American social climbers, the eternal Anglo.
So if WikiLeaks just swallowed the JQ pill, then that's pretty awesome.
Accidentally.
Yeah.
And then today, Trump called Debbie Wasserman neurotic, highly neurotic, and all the Jews are kvetching hard over that.
They're schwitzing everywhere.
Oy vey, you think I'm neurotic? Just because I think you're a Putin puppet?
Putin. Master
Like, they call
troll.
us the conspiracy theorists, and they're like, oh yeah, Putin's definitely controlling WikiLeaks and Trump and UKIP and everyone else
for
they don't like.
2.0.
Like basically everyone that isn't a commie
Yeah.
is controlled by the Kremlin.
I mean, this is much what it was like to live through the 30s when they were just propagandizing against Hitler for like a decade straight.
Well, you were right about those ribs, Justin. But I'm pretty sure the Jews didn't know about 9/11.
Steve is blue-pilled.
He is.
He's got hope though. He said he's pretty sure.
Did we ever get any South Park Jew drops?
No,
No.
but I have something for after the break,
Ooh.
or for once we get into some more topics.
Oof.
Was that a sneak peek?
It was.
Oh boy.
A lot of noise. Send it to me though, so I'll put it through the. I finally figured out virtual audio cable, guys. So that's why all of our drops are gonna sound good this week.
Instead of like bagged ass.
Yeah.
So what I loved about the RNC was that every night they were kvetching, but it just got more and more intense each night. I mean, starting from Laura Ingraham and the salute, the Sig Heil, and then when each family member is up, they were like, "Oh, this is a monarchy; it's not democracy," and we're just like, "Yeah, that's the point." Great.
Yeah, Melania gave a good speech. I thought, how good of a speech do you expect a first lady to give?
She speaks 5 languages, and English is not one of them.
So I thought she did pretty good, and even if Trump did know about the, have you seen that theory going around where he knew that it was ripping off part of Michelle Obama or whatever?
Well, also the never gonna give you up, never gonna let you down part. She rickrolled the nation.
But that theory of getting people to
compare the two,
think past the sale.
Yeah, and show visual comparisons between Michelle and Melania.
Yeah.
This is what a woman looks like. This is what a black dude in a dress like.
I got so much shit for that tweet I sent out.
That
Melon in the tranny versus Melania the beautiful or something. There were so many fucking dudes sending me shit about that.
Oof. Well,
that's when you know you're not wrong.
The more Jews and black people you piss off, the better of a day it was.
And if you don't get blocked by at least one person, it's not a good day on Twitter.
All right, that's a good target goal.
That's pretty solid.
Still haven't got blocked by Glenn Beck because at least I don't think.
I don't think he runs his own account. That's probably why. It's like some intern.
I always end up getting blocked by people who jump to his defense when I tweet at him.
Good voice.
Yeah. And then I go back and forth with them, and then they block me, inevitably.
Yeah, I've been like, if someone doesn't have enough followers for it to make like a splash, I don't go back and forth with people anymore. Unless it's like a journalist or, Because otherwise, if you go and get someone that has like 20 followers, like it's just a waste of time.
Yeah. Yeah, I think the last lady who had Glenn Beck shit a couple hundred, so it was worth it.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that's worth it for sure. So let's see. What else about the RNC? I liked how Ivanka basically gave like a Democrat speech, but then everyone just loved it. And really what that represents is the socialism for the national.
Mm-hmm.
Got to have some peanut butter and chocolate going, Can't just have peanut butter.
Yeah, I thought Melania gave a good speech, and then I thought Junior knocked it out of the park, and I thought there was no way that Eric or Ivanka was going to beat that, but they both did. It just got better every night.
I don't know if they beat it. I thought Don Jr.'s was really good.
I thought Eric's was better, and I thought Ivanka's was even better.
Huh. I liked Eric's. I just thought Don Jr.'s was the best, but they were both really good. And then Peter Thiel did really good. He kind of had the archaeo-futurist thing where he was like, we should be going to Mars, not going to the Middle East.
Yeah.
And that's such an appealing message for white people, really.
Peter Thiel.
Well, whatever.
Yeah. Well, the only reason I say that is because I always thought it was Thiel too, and then they were saying it there, and I was like, well, I've been wrong
he should
for like a
remove
year.
the H because the H is very deceiving there.
Well, he's German, so
that's true.
There's a lot of words.
I liked how so their article is coming out saying like, oh, he's an immigrant who supports Trump. It's like the dude lived for 1 year in Germany, then the rest of his life in America. That doesn't really count.
He was raised in Ohio or Indiana or something like that.
Yeah. If you were a baby for 1 year in Germany, that doesn't really make you German.
No.
I mean, he's German heritage-wise, but he's an American citizen.
It's not like these brown people who will never assimilate.
Yeah,
Who live in their ethnic enclaves.
That's the largest ethnic group in America. Speaking of Germans, I heard an interesting point by Chuck Johnson on Fash, where he was saying that like the time he realized that Trump was going to win is when he saw all the German Americans of both parties switching to Trump, and so I think it's something in the Volk he's really reaching out to there.
Speaking of Volk, don't we have to give American Volkist a shout out this week too?
Yes.
He's a good guy.
Yeah, he's in our Spurg chat.
The Spurg chat.
I think he handles it about as well as we do.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you just gotta ignore about half the content and you're good.
Half. Gotta ignore more than that.
Yeah, that might be a little generous.
I'm not seeing any questions or anything.
No, well, we didn't tweet it out today. I think we only tweeted it out last night. So,
Well,
oh well.
we did what we could.
Well, we don't really want democracy, so maybe it's better that we don't have user feedback into our content.
I like that.
Better as a triumvirate.
I'll drink to that.
Indeed.
Drink to watching Ted Cruz commit political suicide.
Dude, we're gonna get drunk if we keep toasting the the shit.
See, I got really drunk Friday night for that podcast, and I got really drunk Saturday after the hike. So I'm trying tonight, but I don't want to get that drunk, you know?
I hear you. I had a nice.
Yeah, me too. You were gonna say we had a nice buzz after lunch?
Had a good bass layer going.
Yeah, I ended up having to drive.
Oh, the old lady tap out.
Yeah, we got like 2 X's down. She was complaining, so
Nice.
we had to pull over.
So what did y'all do for your IRL meetup?
Well, we didn't have that much time.
No, and Sergeant Surly couldn't make it, so it was just us two and Fash Gordon. And we went to, I don't want to say the name of the place, but we went to a bar. Roscoe was a little bit late, so Fash Gordon and I hung out. We ate lunch, and then right when we got our first drink, because we were there early, and it's Sunday, so we couldn't get a drink until like noon.
Ooh.
Right when we got like 2 minutes after we got our first drink, Roscoe showed up, so we just IRL shit posted. We were the only ones in there, really.
Other than the staff.
Yeah. I think a couple people came in there towards the end, but for the first hour and a half, it was just us two and then us three.
Yeah, that's how our lunch was, and it was nice because you could just kind of speak pretty loudly about what you wanted to.
Yeah. Yeah, we definitely did some IRL shit posting.
It's really the best because, I mean, it's fun to do on the internet, but it's just not the same as doing it in real life, like in real places, and, doing real things. Because, I mean, if the Nazis just wrote letters to each other, nothing would have happened.
Right? Yeah, they met in beer halls.
You gotta get in the beer halls. See, I do those kind of stuff on, like, a miniature basis in my college bars. Like, I'll be talking to friends, and then I'll just start slipping some red pills in there. It's like 1:30, 1:45, everyone's just hammered. You're talking with the bro outside of the bar, and it's like, so Trump, huh? You just gotta kind of advance those lines of conversation.
That's always fun.
And then I also wear the Trump hat to the bars pretty often.
Next time I go out here, I will make sure I have my Trump hat on.
It starts up like a lot of conversation. I mean, especially in my college, it's very white, so you don't really get challenged on it.
Yeah, I gotta be careful where I go if I want to wear mine out. If I'm just in my city, it's like 98% white, so it's easy to get away with that. But if I go, to the big city, yeah, then I have to be careful.
To Tel Aviv.
Yes.
Well, actually, it's interesting because a lot of the Israelis actually like Trump, but the international cosmopolitans are a little less of a fan.
The rootless cosmopolitans?
Yeah, well, international implies rootless, but rootless does sound better.
It does.
Just has a
They're
ring to it.
very neurotic, sweaty, long nose. Do we have that drop? That is like the best drop.
Yeah, that's Sven's.
Mm-hmm.
I
That
don't want
was
to
called.
steal.
Yeah, we probably shouldn't rip that.
Oof.
And we don't have any Jewish drops like that.
Well, we just make sure that our anti-Semitism is out in the open.
Yeah, we're not really subtle at all.
We were when we started off back in, what was it, beginning of December, end of November, Roscoe?
Well, then you just can't ignore it. It's daily.
Yeah, we had an episode called Goodbye Subtle Pretense, where we definitely went over the edge.
Well, I thought I had a really nuanced take when I said, the Holocaust didn't happen, but it would have been awesome.
Yeah,
I think that's a very moderate opinion on it.
it is. And you know what they say,
you
it's
know-
not too late to achieve your dreams.
Or criticizing Hitler because he didn't finish the job.
Hitler wasn't alt-right enough.
Yeah, that's the way to purity spiral. You criticize so much, you have to purge Hitler. Well, I keep hearing all the alt-right gays say, like, oh, Hitler was fine with fags and trannies, and I'm like, okay, we need to purge Hitler then.
Yeah.
That's
That's
only,
the only answer here. Final solution.
that's what Hitler would have wanted.
Yeah, Hitler was a commie Jew fuck, it seems. Alright, I think we've just triggered like 98% of the alt-right with those two statements. How do
Well,
we
look,
recover
if you're
from
a
that?
dude, put on a dress, you should probably kill yourself.
Yeah,
Or become first lady.
that's how you can contribute to the movement. Just a noose.
Big if true.
We're very compassionate here on Exodus Americanus.
Right, yeah,
Yep.
well,
Empathy is our strong suit. I mean, I just watched a full season of BoJack Horseman, though, so my empathy is at like an all-time low.
you got to internalize the Mr. Peanut Butter.
I try, but I relate a lot more to BoJack. Gotta be honest. Mostly for being a famous '90s TV star.
Little known fact, our co-host was the Olsen twins.
I haven't
Yeah.
watched the new season yet.
Well, Alison Brie, she plays the weird journalist lady.
Mhm.
Like, Alison Brie is actually like a pretty hot Jewess. I'm not gonna lie. She's the one from Mad Men and Community.
Well, I'm gonna see if I can confirm this.
Oh, it's a fact. Alison
she?
Briowitz.
I
Alison
can see-
Briestein.
Yeah, she's all right looking.
She's pretty hot.
I mean, I've done worse.
Haven't we all? Well, the
In-
neats haven't.
Unless boy pussy counts.
Don't say that word. I don't like any of that.
That was terrible.
I didn't like any of that.
I think that's really my favorite drop.
It's
Is
a
it better than-
classic.
Is it
Bye,
better than...
Felicia.
I don't like any
Bye,
of that.
Felicia. Bye, Felicia.
I fucking love Bye Felicia.
All right, that was some
Happy
good
Friday.
shit posting. Should we
Yeah.
start any actual topics? Maybe.
Maybe.
I'm down.
Maybe.
Maybe.
All right, what do we got?
Well, we kind of
Well-
talked about the RNC in our shit posting. Should we go?
Yeah, I think we hit the high points. I mean, it's a nationalist party now. Trump gave a Nuremberg speech. It was glorious. Those are the main things.
I did love the aesthetics of the whole thing, though.
Oh, when Trump came out and it was like the all gold, like the biggest font size I've ever seen. Like, I think it was bigger than the actual screen it was shown on.
Big if true.
And then that last minute where the balloons are dropping and it can't always get what you want.
It's a nice little wink and nod to all of the never Trumpsters out there.
Oh,
And then even when they played All Right Now, that could be considered an alt right now dog whistle. If you really read into it. Which I intend to.
All right.
I actually have some drops from Trump. So give me, and they didn't show up. So give me 1 second to.
Like, I know people say, don't LARP too much, but I try to LARP whenever possible.
I didn't mean to play that one.
Like, LARPing is an imperative.
it's like setting up goals for yourself.
Well, I think that's really a unique ability of the white man, the ability to LARP. Look at all fantasy and science fiction writers.
True.
They're white.
I am your voice.
Yeah, there we go. I don't really mean to play that right there, but
It's pretty good. I think LARPing is really the Faustian spirit in action.
it could be.
Go on.
I think it's pretty self-evident. I mean, it's basically, the urge to reach for things that are greater than your current situation, to imagine a future and work toward it.
The American dream.
Because if you think about it, Clinton's like the opposite of LARPing, because she just says, we need to stick with what we have here, make a few tweaks. Clinton is the anti-LARPing candidate.
I don't know.
My opponent asks her supporters to recite a 3-word loyalty pledge. It reads, I'm with her. I choose to recite a different pledge. My pledge reads, I'm with you, the American people.
That's fucking beautiful.
Huge.
Like, he just, right there, like you're saying, when she's the anti-LARPing candidate, he just tears apart her entire campaign, platform.
Oh, yeah.
With just, I'm with you. And it's so simple. It's, like the low energy, she's corrupt, Hillary Clinton.
Yeah, see what he does, and he's smart about it. He hits people at their strengths. Like, he goes for their slogan. He goes straight after her experience. Everything she tries to build her campaign on, he attacks those first.
Kicks the strongest legs out from underneath the chair first.
Yeah, I mean, the bigger they are, the harder they fall. Like, Trump took Jeb's only claim to fame, his family name, and he destroyed it within a couple months. He destroyed a dynasty.
Almost 40 years since the last time we didn't have any Bushes at the RNC.
Well, there's another thing. It's like the last time the GOP had a president without a Nixon or a Bush on the ticket was Herbert Hoover.
Oh.
Wow.
Woo.
Wow.
Holy shit. That's
Yeah, I mean, in the last 85 years, basically.
That's nuts. I did not know that.
you
Yeah,
just blew my mind, man.
big if true, and it is true. I mean, other than like the 5 months of Gerald Ford, but that doesn't really count.
No.
2 years, whatever. Gerald Ford was a footnote in history, at best.
What else? Do we have anything else about the RNC? So I know we're pumped up about the next national convention.
Yeah, I've got one more drop that I think we can talk
The
about.
Dindu
for a
National
second.
Convention.
Right?
I am the law and order candidate.
Oh, I was so pumped when he said that because I've been saying for months, and a lot of people have, that law and order is the way to win in November. Just like Nixon did, just like Reagan did. I mean, in our current times, the more crazy things get, the more normies just want stability, strength, and not having to even think about politics. They want certain elements purged because they're making life difficult.
Yeah, they I forgot my train of thought. Sorry.
Well, it seems like like we were talking about, they're not going to help themselves. Like Sean King is going to foment a rebellion at the DNC.
Yeah, that was he just sent out a Facebook post, a white man trying to rally up the BLM people.
Do you has anybody got that handy?
The email?
No, his Facebook post
Or yeah.
calling
sorry.
for war.
I think I can find it real quick. Yeah. It says, Dear DNC, and then in parentheses, Democratic Party, as if people don't know. If you do not publicly acknowledge and apologize for this particular wrong against Bernie Sanders in the next 48 hours, I will lead a public campaign to force it. I will be relentless. Apologize to this man. Now, people should resign and be fired over this. Well, Wasserman Schultz resigned, but you cannot pretend it never happened. Bernie did not deserve to have the CFO of the party questioning his faith and planning ways to attack him over it during the primary. Apologize, please. I'm asking nicely. 48 hours, starting now.
See, Sean King is really helping us out later. He's sowing a lot of dissent.
I appreciate it.
You know, I think he probably is like a very deep cover alt-right member, because he's obviously white.
Yeah, LARPing as a black guy.
Maybe he's Ricky Vaughn. He lives a double life.
Could be.
He just puts some marbles in his mouth when he does a Ricky Vaughn interview.
Gotta stay incognito. See, it would not be a Excess Americanus podcast if we didn't make fun of people on our own side.
If we didn't make fun of people who helped us out greatly by retweeting the show.
We have to subvert the alt-right somehow, guys.
That's what the word said when it came down from Tel Aviv. We got a job to do. Use our high verbal IQs.
Speaking of high, I saw Samuel Heidberg got reported in a Mexico newspaper as the attacker in Munich.
It was the Spanish language version of RT.
Russia Today.
Just when we thought we were doing it hard enough.
It's great. I mean, I think... So it's funny, like, I feel like there was like 5 or 6 terror attacks over the last week, but I only remember Munich, and only vaguely even that. I've kind of got bored of them, you know?
Well, this is one of the things. We've got to make terror attacks great again.
I mean, after Nice and Orlando, unless there's triple-digit body counts, I'm not really interested. Kind of low energy otherwise.
It is.
Well, I mean, that guy in Germany, or that kid, I guess, killing kids in McDonald's, that's pretty fucked up.
Yeah. Well, McDonald's, that's American influence.
We're subverting them.
Oh, I mean, we've been subverting Germany since the end of World War II.
Possibly back as far as the end of World War I.
Oh, well, definitely after World War One. Treaty of Versailles.
Or Versailles, as some people say.
Commie Jew fuck say that.
Scotch Irish Trash says that.
And there's a happening in Germany now, an IED was set off.
Oh, they blew up like a wine bar, right? That sounds like a French terror attack, but even Germany is culturally appropriating all the terror now.
And there's a massive fire started near a NATO base in Turkey.
The fire rises.
How exciting.
I'm so happy that Trump is not backing down from the NATO stance.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I hate NATO so much. Like, why should we ever defend Estonia? What the fuck even is Estonia? Just go back to Russia.
Exactly.
You're not a real country. Like, Georgia, Ukraine, Czechoslovakia.
Latvia.
No, like, you're all Russia.
He's Russian clay.
They have to go back. It's insane how much the Democrats are freaking out that Trump doesn't want to go start a global war over Estonia. I don't think like 10% of Americans could locate Estonia on a map.
I might struggle.
I don't think I could. I mean, I know the general region. Obviously, it's west of Russia and east of most of Europe.
Yeah,
but the exact one...
It's the topmost one. It's under, what's it, Norway, Sweden, Finland?
I think another reason why I don't know these things is, like, the game of Risk we had growing up. It was like a very old version of Risk. They still have the Soviet Union. So
I have the same thing.
And also, I think World Geography was like my worst class because I just didn't care.
You have Russia, which takes up all of Asia, and then you have like Yakutia, just to split it up over there on the east.
I remember my World Geography class. We were allowed to listen to iPods during tests, so I typed in every country and its capital city onto my iPod search bar.
That's a high agency cheat right there.
The thing is, yeah, it took so much effort. It would have been easier to just learn them.
Memorize it.
I even thought about recording a track with like all the information for the test. But at that point, that's just really good preparation and studying.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, if you went through all that trouble, you wouldn't even need to cheat.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that was just a high agency way to still fight the system. I don't know.
I'll allow it.
It's a mystery. So yeah, terror attacks, I don't know. I'm just kind of... I can't get excited about them anymore. Unless it's like a Nice attack where people are getting run over by a truck. I mean, that's at least a little interesting.
What about a Dallas?
Well, yeah, Dallas is interesting because it hasn't been as much on U.S. soil. So, I mean, yeah, Dallas was interesting.
If it happens in America, it's automatically more interesting.
Yeah.
I think that's a given.
There's like a fight. We still need to make like a happening counter with like different multipliers by country and by kill count. And then like if it's not above like 100-point threshold, like we don't even talk about it. It's like,
I thought about getting some audio drops since our Hillary Clinton moratorium is officially over, but I'm not gonna sully our podcast with that shrill harpy.
No, we can wait until after the DNC next week to maybe put together something that's really high agency.
Well, I'm wondering how long her speech is going to be because, I mean, Trump's was 75 minutes. I don't think she ever speaks more than like 10 or 20 minutes at a time.
Without getting a fucking seizure.
I wish we could play the seizure over audio.
Yeah.
You just Google a Hillary Clinton seizure and you'll see her doing some stuff that is a strong argument for not mixing your meds with alcohol.
Yeah, she has some serious problems. Like, he really needs to just like push all her buttons during the debate, and hopefully she spurgs out.
Oh, it'll be easy. All he has to do is just do what he did during the primary debates. Just be a fucking shitlord up on stage.
And now that he has all the DNC leaks material, he can be like, "Oh, poor Bernie."
Yup.
Yo, we're beating up on the Jew.
And even outside of the debates, he hasn't even let loose Ivanka yet.
Oh, yeah. Well, did you see that one DNC leak email where the DNC was planning on bringing up that he was an atheist to hurt him in the South?
Yup.
And that's like, they're supposed to be neutral, and we all knew this stuff was happening, but now that we have proof, the normies can't escape it.
If it ever really gets a TV play.
Like, I've seen normies freaking out on Facebook and normie Twitter the last few days because it's so obvious. It's so blatant.
Mm-hmm. And just seems like every week we're doing the show and we don't think that it can be more blatant and obvious, and then it is.
I mean, this must be what it felt like at the end of the Weimar Republic. Just each day, more corrupt, more degenerate, more disgusting.
Like, almost measurably so.
Mm-hmm. I mean, even the Twitter chats are just completely paused now.
So, do we want to take a break and then come back and hit the DNC leaks and stuff hard, or how do we?
Yeah, DNC leaks, Tim Kaine, DNC. There's some good stuff there.
We got some blood to spill right there.
Oof.
It's gonna be fun.
All right. Well, everybody, go refill your glass. I know I'm out of beer, so I'm gonna go grab a couple more, and we will catch you back after the bump.
Yeah. Back to Alaska. We love our cops, our law enforcement. We love our military, they're important. We love our cops, our law enforcement. We love our military, they're important. And when I'm in the jam, I know that I can call up the man, with a plan. When I'm on the run, all I gotta our veterans, they're important. We love our cops, our law enforcement. We love our veterans, they're important. And when they're out at war, you know why I appreciate them more, Thank you, Lord, when they keep us safe, You know they make America a better place. We love our cops, our law enforcement. We love our military, they're important. We love the cops, our law enforcement. We love the military, they're important. When I'm in the jam, I know that I can call up the man, with the plan. When I'm on the run, all I gotta do is dial 911. 911. 911. Thank you for your service. Yes.
Welcome back.
Welcome back to the Exodus Americanus. I'm the White Power Ranger, joined with my partners in crime, Mr. Stone. He's at Exo Americanus on Twitter, and my main man, Donald Bateman, who's at Nationalism Rise. We got a lot of shit to get through in the second half, guys, so strap on tight. We're going in. Balls deep. So what do we want to hit first? Do we want to hit this little beta mail that's Hillary's VP?
Let's do it.
Tim Kaine.
Tim Kaine.
So the thing about Tim Kaine, it looks like it was like a slap in the face to Bernie people, like directly. I mean, this guy was the DNC chair during 2010, which was their most disastrous year, those midterm elections.
Mm-hmm.
He's a senator from Virginia who said he wants to go to battle with the progressive movement, like against them. Supports the TPP, supports Wall Street. I mean, he's
Wall Street loves him.
He's completely globalist, but then he speaks Spanish, so they think that'll make him interesting. Which to that I say, Jeb Bush. Doesn't work.
But I miss Jeb.
He added nothing to their ticket. They're trying to get the white male vote with that, but they are already on Trump's side, so there's no.
Well, they're playing by the 90s rules when they think that a centrist, guy from Virginia is a good call. But this is an anti-establishment election. They should have gone like Cory Booker or maybe even Elizabeth Warren. I mean, at least someone that'll get them to turn out.
Yeah, they can't go Julian Castro because of all the shit that he got in trouble for.
And he looks like a fag.
Yeah, he probably is a fag.
His shit's all retarded.
Get back and his shit's all retarded.
Yeah, so with Kaine, I mean, he was a safe choice for them, but he adds 0 votes, which means Clinton will have to get the votes on her own, and she is about as inspiring as the styrofoam section in Hobby Lobby. There is a section.
I believe you.
It's a good thing.
Actually, maybe Hobby Lobby could be the last implicit stand, now that I think about it. All those crafting supplies.
All those cat ladies?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And they won a Supreme Court battle?
Yeah, about contraception. Or maybe gays. It was one of those. Maybe both.
Burn all the gays and all the rubbers.
Do gays need contraceptives, though?
No, they don't. That's why they get AIDS.
Just spreading the gift around?
Well, apparently before they picked the AIDS name, it was GRIDS, which was gay-related immune disorder.
Deficiency.
Which is also a good moniker for the alt-right.
That's true.
Well, since you got old Bubba Clinton wandering around looking like he's got a full-blown case of the GRIDS.
He might be white, but he doesn't have his white blood cells anymore.
Oh! Yeah. Snip,
I might have to tweet that. That is a fierce line.
That's a good one. Yeah. FBI announced that he'll be dead within a year, so I'm going with that.
Oof. I didn't see that.
What happened?
FBI anon Remember that post, that long?
Yep.
Ah,
post?
yeah.
He said Bill would be dead within a year, but it's looking more like Hillary's gonna be fucking dead before.
Well, I
Bill
think Hillary
is.
might try to kill him for the October surprise to get some sympathy votes.
That'd be great. Sacrificed upon the altar of globalism.
Honestly,
him than my kids.
he might be down for it because I know he's tired of living near her. Not with, but near.
Near, yeah.
Adjacent to.
Just in her terrible vicinity.
Just the fact that that she can easily reach him at any time is too close.
Yeah. I also saw Tim Kaine accepted about $160,000 of gifts while he was governor,
Yeah, he's in trouble for bribery stuff too.
including $5,000 in clothing. Which, my God, if I had $5,000 spent on clothes, what
I'd
would
get
you
one
even
really good suit.
Yeah, get some Tom Ford. Actually, I'd get a Hugo Boss wardrobe.
It's like at the RNC, Ivanka came out in like $150 dress. And
Yeah, one of her dresses.
Yeah, and Hillary has like a $12,000 jacket that she wears.
Although
It looks
I
like she
can't-
pulled it out of a dumpster.
Exactly.
Yeah, like so I like high end kind of fashion or clothing, but not when it looks as bad as what Hillary was wearing. And with her body type, honestly though, nothing would look good.
She's shaped like Roger the Alien from American Dad.
She's built like a keg, but less useful. And she doesn't bring joy into a room. She sucks it out. So she's like an empty keg.
An empty keg floating awash in our tears.
See, these are the bants our 500 million listeners come for.
I thought we only had 6 million.
No,
We're
I think
working on
passed
it.
that.
Squad goals, man. Squad goals.
So I was happy about the good feedback we got on Alt-Right Fight about Exus Americanus.
Yeah.
Like, I don't remember much of it because I was really drunk during that podcast. But
They spoke well of us. It meant a lot to me. I really enjoyed that show, though.
it's a good time. It's like, it's a little stressful times when there's like 7 or 8 people and you're trying to bounce in. But
Yeah.
since I've got a strong will to power, I just talked over people if we were competing.
I mean, that's what you got to do. Will to power,
You just gotta
bro.
commit. Will to power, bro.
Fucking ride the tiger.
Other podcast we should shout out is Kevin McTrump's Expose the Nose.
I think
It was
their
a good
second
title,
episode
too.
should be up by the time we get finished.
Yeah, their first one's
Good
at it's almost at 450 listens. That's their first episode. That's fucking impressive.
Yeah. Especially his
Who's-
shadow banned right afterwards.
Yeah,
It was impressive. I don't know how he got that many so quick.
you got the Kevin McDonald retweet.
Crucial.
It is. Guy drives a lot of traffic.
He does.
Love that dude.
So yeah, he gave us a bunch of shout outs on his podcast. So we'll give
That's
him.
true.
We'll return the favor.
So Tim Kaine, he's so boring. I don't even know if I want to talk about him anymore. Like, what else is there even to say?
Yeah, that's it. I mean, he is about as exciting as golf.
Yeah, but at least golf you can win. You can't win with Kane.
I can think of some winning scenarios involving him and the brain trust.
Yeah, maybe paraded through the city on a pike. Not all of them, though.
Yeah.
Just the top.
Well, we can go multiple cities at once.
Well, that's dual citizen. Should be at least half of them should be deported to whatever country they hold dual citizenship with.
Well, it's like Solomon and the baby. It's like you can each have half of the baby, so it works out for everyone.
You got
Right,
the top, the bottom, and then split it down the middle.
Head, shoulders, knees, and toes.
I actually thought it was pretty based how one of the ladies was like, okay, that's fine. You know that was a Jew.
Yeah.
Half a baby's better than no baby.
Gotta be practical.
I can get half my Gibbs.
It's that neurosis.
And speaking of Jewish neuroticism,
Yeah.
there's not going to be any Lemmy weeks to stop WikiLeaks this time.
WikiLeaks is our Gibbles now. When I saw the brackets, I had to look at the phone and I was like, wait, what? And I was at dinner at the time with some normies. And so I was like, oh shit, I want to just be on Twitter right now. But I was actually at the deli eating a pastrami sandwich.
I need to get back to the basement.
Yeah.
Back
And then
to the Tendies.
I went to the bathroom, and like along the way there's all these posters that say, you don't have to be Jewish to enjoy, and it's like the name of this deli. And there's like 5 or 6 of them in a row. And so I was just like, yeah, that's true. You don't have to be Jewish. It's actually better not to be. But I give them credit. The pastrami on rye, that is a glorious sandwich.
Money.
I like me some delis. So it's like Chuck Johnson said, they can't be ruling society, but we'll keep the delicatessen owners.
Well, those are some of those blue-collar Jews that we were talking about.
There's actually a few that follow me. It's something called alt Jews, where they don't like other Jews, because they see what's coming, basically. Like, all these other kikes are going to get kicked out of America. Because I can just imagine, like, 20% of the Jews, like, oh, god damn it, this makes 115 countries. Like, I just want to settle down, live my life, but fucking Shlomo just can't keep his D in his pants. Has to keep fucking up society.
Speaking of keeping your D in the pants, that guy from the DNC trying to hook up with married women, while also trying to get weed on his official DNC account.
Wait, trying to get what? Trying to get weed?
Yeah. Of course, it was a black guy too.
Yeah.
You would think that would be the Libertarian Party, right? Like Gary Johnson is high in all his interviews.
Oh, for sure.
But his poll numbers aren't.
I hope he gets 15% so he can be in a debate and he's just stoned out of his fucking mind.
Well, I saw last year he was polling at 5%, but then he got less than 1% in the actual election. Like, they're not going to show up and vote for it.
No.
One of my friends, I was like, he's big on Gary Johnson. I was like, listen, if he gets more than 2% of the vote, I bet you he won't, and he wouldn't take the bet. Even while he's signaling oh, it's gonna get in the debate, it's gonna be different this year. No, y'all say that every single time.
I don't want to get into the polling too much because Fashion Nation already covered it, but the last 4 polls have been very favorable. Rasmussen, Trump +1. The biased-ass Reuters Ipsos is Clinton +4, but that's within the margin of error on that one. Gravis, Trump +2. And the LA Times USC is Trump +3.
Yeah, the LA Times one. I mean, Rasmussen I take with a grain of salt. But LA Times, I was like, wow. Because I know the LA Times does not like Trump.
Speaking of people not liking the results of their own poll, did you see Van Jones' poll about Trump's speech?
Oh, yeah. It was 75% approval. And then CNN was just like, oh, shit.
Yeah, they had to bury their own fucking poll.
They were so hesitant to even report on it.
And they ended up publishing the other number, which was 56% of people were going to vote for him, more likely to vote for him after the speech than before. So they had to publish that
20% were less likely.
And that's the more damning one than the approval. Just because you approve of the speech doesn't mean that you're going to go vote for the guy. So they should have just ran with that one, but they ran with the other one, which, like I said, is more damning because that's a huge increase.
Yeah, and with Trump's speech, not only was it well written and rhetorically persuasive, his delivery was incredible. I mean, he added in some ad libs. He was just, he was yelling it, but not in a shrill Clinton way, in a powerful, commanding way.
Yeah, a passionate populism.
I mean, people journalists on Twitter were like, they're saying he definitely has been studying Hitler's mannerisms, and I hope so, because he was the greatest speaker ever.
Hard to top.
Mm-hmm.
Big if true. Hashtag.
And that's why I'm looking forward to the DNC speeches, because first they're going to have, the Dindu Express of 5 single moms. And then Hillary's speech, I mean, how are they going to make it longer than 10 minutes before she collapses?
Yeah, I hope she has a coughing fit during it.
Or a seizure.
Even better.
Which is pretty likely during her, if she actually makes it to the debates.
Yeah, I hope the seizures hold off until later, before they can add like people to the state
like
ballots.
October surprise.
Yeah.
Well, just now, Julian Assange said he's going to release something soon that will put Hillary in prison.
It's
like the DNC
Foundation
leaks,
stuff.
it was only the beginning. That's the crazy part.
Yeah, well, when Guccifer 2.0 hacked DNC, he also got the Foundation stuff.
Yeah, and I'm sure he just gave everything to WikiLeaks. That's what it seems like.
And Putin.
Yeah. Assange doesn't
doesn't run WikiLeaks. Putin is actually Assange in a mask and wig.
I haven't seen them in the same room.
Neither have I.
Well, I haven't seen Trump and Putin in the same room.
Well, yeah, they were on some TV show together, remember?
Well, they were both on the same segment, but it was filmed in different countries.
Yeah. So it was a clever ruse.
Mm-hmm. And Melania could just be Trump's handler.
I think she's really Ava Braun.
So it's crazy how, for decades the Democrats have been talking about how Republicans agitate for war, they lie to get into war, which is true, they did, under the neocons. But now it's just the Dems are in this fear campaign about Russia. I mean, as soon as the DNC leaks came out, they tried to spin it to be about Russia, which is, it's really absurd. Like, WikiLeaks is obviously not controlled by Putin. Maybe he got information from him, but it doesn't really matter where the information came from when no one is denying the veracity of the information.
Mm-hmm. You got to dispute the information, not the source of the information.
Yeah, they're just trying to attack the source, but it's all true. And of course Bernie has cucked out hard and has said he still supports Hillary, but I don't think his fans will do so quite as quickly.
And Google's listing WikiLeaks as a dangerous site now. Just to keep people off of it.
They tried to shut it down hard. Twitter tried to do it, and then WikiLeaks called them out.
And I think the best part is all of these big donors, all of their credit card and social security information are out there. WikiLeaks didn't fucking censor that one bit. So not only did the DNC violate their the security, because it was all unencrypted. They violated federal law and every state law where these people
there was
live.
a lot of negative communication when they're making fun of donors or calling Mexicans taco bowls.
Yeah.
Making fun of gay people. There's some serious stuff in there.
There's a lot of shit in the bed this week for the Democrats.
I think the thing that hurts them most is the collusion with all the media outlets. The trust in the media is already it's lower than the approval rating of Congress, I think, which is embarrassing. And after this, it's
Chuck Todd, Politico, completely controlled.
Yeah, and a couple of the emails are okay, well, we'll be in touch with Zucker, who is Jeff Zucker, the president of NBC, which oversees also MSNBC and CNBC. It's bad, and it's just going to get worse.
Couldn't happen to a nicer bunch of people.
It couldn't.
Oh, here it goes.
That's what they have to be thinking right now. Or
and the timing was just so fantastic. Right before the VP announcement, right before the convention, so the Bernie bros are just stirred up into their rage. And
Cleveland was actually peaceful. It surprised me a little bit. I figure, besides Alex Jones getting attacked.
Attacked by commies.
But he kind of did wade into the middle of them.
Oh, he wanted it to happen. Yeah.
Yeah. He was being himself. So he knew it was going to happen. I think all that happened was some dude jumped on his back and punched him in the back of the head or something.
Well, it's like Cernovich said. The police were just so present that no one was willing to search it.
And they put all of their meetups on Craigslist. And they act like they're the only people who look at Craigslist, which they're more likely to. But when people are aware, hey, check out Craigslist to see where the protest is, so we can do our counter protest, it's going to get broken up. I think there was one where 2 people showed up. Cernovich said, just because they were so afraid of getting BTFO.
Yeah, and I mean the alt-right was very present there, and most of them couldn't get into the convention, so there were a lot of people on the streets that were ready, you know, if someone tried
Roosh.
something, he doesn't count.
Ready to
Roosh,
fight the racial holy war on our behalf?
Roosh walking around in a I'm with her t-shirt just trolling
The
people.
Persians. Well, at least he's not an Arab. I mean,
Yeah.
Persians better.
He's still not white enough.
No.
He's got to go back.
He
Like
does.
Cernovich's wife. She's got to go back.
And sorry, Mike, but the kid's got to go with her.
We can still read Danger and Play when he's in some other country.
Yeah, you can post online. It's fine.
He can still tweet. He'll have the gorilla mindset.
I mean, Paul Town does it from Mongolia. You think he'd be able to do it from wherever the hell he is?
Yeah, Paul has to go back.
Paul Town never left. Goddamn Finnish horse archer.
I'm surprised he gets LTE up in the steppe. He's got a little hotspot going.
Big if true.
Big
Find
if
out who's
true.
providing his satellite internet up there. Get him shut down.
We need like some
That's
autiste.
that's the reason he won't go on audio. It's because his connection is satellite, so it takes 5 minutes to be relayed back.
Huh.
That would make updating Twitter just nightmarish.
Oh, would.
See, we need an autiste to go back through our podcast and see who we've insulted the most. Because we insult at least like 5 or 6 people each episode.
Yeah, before you came on, it was Elon Musk.
Yeah,
We loved to shit on Elon Musk back in the day.
Elon Musk.
Yeah.
He got named Ellen.
Well, he remarried his ex-wife, so he's just a cuck.
Just a dumb bastard.
That's probably won't try to pursue Tesla, even though I interviewed with them. I don't want to work for a cuck.
Well, the dude's never turned a profit without government subsidies.
And he works his people like 100 hours a week, and that leaves little time to shitpost.
Or make white babies.
Yeah, I mean, I shitpost like half the time at work now. Although, tomorrow I actually need to get shit done, because the last 2 days of work, I've literally done like nothing.
Yeah, I didn't do anything on Friday. I was shit posting, and I had Rick and Morty on Hulu and watched the entire second season.
I mean, I care more
didn't
about
watch, I listened.
growing my followers than growing my company's profit margin, because I actually benefit from the followers one.
It's true. We do. Yeah, like we said, we got paid last week. Last week was such a good week. Like Roscoe was saying during lunch today, somebody said we're gonna get tired of winning. We've been winning so much, so we need to make winning great
You gotta
again.
start winning bigger. You gotta start
Honestly,
winning better.
I got a little tired of winning this week. It was just so many wins, I couldn't keep track.
It was, the RNC. It was the Ricky Bond retweet. It was the Jazz Hands shout out. It was the $150 donation. It was
On and on and on.
The DNC leaks. I mean,
it
just
was
glorious.
both of you, but not me, being invited on alt-right fight night. I'm fucking bitter.
I couldn't tell. I mean, if it makes you feel better, I don't really remember what I said on the podcast.
Well,
You did
I
well,
didn't
though.
listen.
I don't really remember what I said on any of our podcasts, so it's okay.
And it's funny because like we're so like uninterested in actually describing any of the facts that went on. Like if someone looks back on these a year later, they're gonna be like, "What the fuck?" They just make like an oblique reference to something, talk about
Move
something
on.
else for like 30 minutes, and then like cycle back and be like, "Yeah, so we don't really care about the terror attack." This is the premium nihilistic content we bring.
That's what Fash Gordon was saying today. He was like, "Yeah, you guys are good. You're a little spurky. I was surprised you were so normal in real life." It's like, well, yeah, we drink heavily during our shows, so we really don't.
Well, it's because
we
we're all
have our
crypto
topics.
normies,
Yeah,
so we
We
can
have our
blend in
topics.
real life.
and never get around to them. Like the DNC, like we're supposed to come back and hit that, and WikiLeaks, which I think we've done a good job of, better than most topics, I think.
Well,
Yeah, I mean, we got some facts in there, which is rare.
I
I
think
used
the
to prefer
biggest
memes.
I guess the thing that I'm enjoying right now the most is Wasserman and Schultz getting the boot.
Oh, glorious! Like her, I don't even care about like her rigging the primary. It's her face that makes me the most upset.
Oh, it's terrible. Like she looks like she's 100. Like she's 100 years old and has been smoking for 200 of those years.
I don't want to say she has a rat face because rats aren't that bad, even though they did the bubonic plague.
Yeah, even Ted. Like I made that comparison in the first segment that Ted Cruz looked like her, but I don't even want to go that far. She looks like you could peel her skin and use it for like your couch.
Yeah, I wouldn't even want her to be my lampshade because it would really throw off the decor of the room.
It'd be like some real resistant leather.
Yeah,
Like,
you'd have to turn away the face part on the lampshade and just have like the neck skin showing on the back. Even that would be gross, though.
I think the most alt-right thing you could do with her skin would be to make a pair of assless chaps.
Assless Jew chaps.
I wouldn't want those that close to my junk. Her skin.
Yeah, that's how you get AIDS.
Yeah.
Crotchless, assless chaps.
I'd definitely get grids.
I like how we just talked about how we don't like stick to any topic, and then we got to Jew leather assless chaps within like 30 seconds.
So
That is impressive.
Did you hit Bateman with that purity spiral question you gave me the other day, Stone?
He was. I sent it in the messages, our group message, so he saw it.
Wait,
I think
what
he
was
might have
the
been
security
shit-canned.
spiral?
When you had just been talking about like half an hour before, like you got on the show, or All Right Fight Night, that
Yeah.
the best thing to do in our Spurg chat was do a purity spiral with trannies and Jews.
Oh yeah, the question is, would you rather fuck a tranny or a Jew?
So I sent Roscoe, Jennifer Rubin, and Bailey J. which would you rather?
I think the answer is always the Jew because you can hate fuck them, but if you fuck a tranny, you deserve to die.
Yeah, that's
There's
what he
no
was
way
saying.
that I could emotionally recover from having sex with a dude.
I mean, who hasn't banged a Jewess at some point? Let's be honest here.
Me?
I have.
I have. But it was
I have
before I knew
not.
about the JQ, so it's fair.
I think this hairy Jew trying to sleep with me once is what woke me on the JQ.
Okay, if this is hilarious. If you Google Jennifer Rubin,
Oh, she blocked me so long ago.
people also search for Bill Crystal, Fred Hyatt, George Will, Ben Sass, and Dana Milbank. That's a
Mere coincidence,
awesome.
boy.
That's a who's who of who's Jew and who.
Who's
also
Jew?
Mitt Romney, Charles Krauthammer, and Paul Ryan.
Well, the Mormons think that they're American Jews, so he counts as a Jew.
Yeah, Jesus definitely came from Missouri.
He's at least a crypto.
Jesus from Missouri.
Well, the thing about Romney, subversion runs in his blood because his dad
Yeah, Fred.
tried to like sabotage Nixon and Reagan. His
now-
dad, George Romney.
And now it's George, not Fred. Fred is
Fred
Donald's dad. So, my mistake. I'll flog myself for such a indiscretion.
Indubitably. So, just saw a tweet with the DHS truth coming out. A very credible source told me minutes ago that the likelihood of a contested convention is increasing. This might be
DHS?
the comeback moment.
DNC.
Yeah, DNC,
Okay.
sorry.
Glorious.
I thought that's what you meant, but I wanted to make sure before we launched into like a DHS rant.
Oh.
I really
So-
think the DNC could be bad enough that they don't even get a bump afterward.
Yeah.
Yeah, everybody
also-
was waiting on this, terrible Trump convention moment, and it never happened. The biggest
Yeah, it was
news
awesome.
was, like we said in the first half, the Melania part, which only made people consider Melania as a first lady, comparing her next to the tranny in chief now. And then the Ted Cruz stuff, which, is like Trump's speech, Cruz's leaked before, and Trump read it, and he still let it happen. That's why he walked in the middle of it, to steal even more spotlight away from Cruz.
Yeah, and then people were like, "Oh, he leaked the speech." It's like, yeah, and more people listen to it. It's not a bad thing. More people read it.
Yeah, I didn't read it all. I was I think I was working late. I was at home, but I think I was working. So I saw when you sent that
You know
to
what's
us,
the
and I read like
funniest
the first few
thing,
paragraphs.
So the new DNC interim chair It's like that Dindu lady from the CM.
Yes.
The one they have who's literally like a DNC top executive, but they have her to be like, propaganda on their panels.
That's awesome. That's what I was going to ask her in the first half. Like, will the new chair be a black or a woman? Or both, apparently.
Yeah, the DNC, like all the top brass at the DNC is women or minorities or a combination. And we lost Bateman again.
Well, son of a bitch.
His internets are, he's got to fix them. He's got to get more tubes. Bateman, you got to get more tubes on your internets.
Juice is showing my internet.
You're going to need a tube extension over there.
Yeah, I need a tube repair. My tubes are clogged, full of internet.
Tweet from WikiLeaks. Broadcasters so far implicated in DNC leaks. MSNBC, CBS. Broadcasters so far not covering DNC leaks. MSNBC, CBS. And I want to fucking point this tweet out because they spelled implicated with an extra letter in it, and they were given Trump shit for tweeting about WikiLeaks with an extra letter in the leaks part.
Yeah, and they broadcasted it everywhere. The same thing happened when he called Debbie highly neurotic. Everyone quote tweeted his thing, which spread it to more people.
The fire rises.
I was just giving him shit for misspelling something and then making fun of Trump for misspelling something.
Just astounding what this shit has brought forth. Like, it's a treasure trove. It's going to take literally weeks for us to get all the way through.
And then by that point, they're going to dump more. I mean, when is the DNC 4 days as well? Monday through Thursday?
I don't know it that well. We can hope.
So they'll dump something either Thursday right before, like in the afternoon, before all the speeches get kicked off.
Ooh, that's confirmed Thursday?
Well, I'm guessing. They'll either do that Thursday before, Kane and Hillary speak, or they'll do it Friday just to steal all the thunder before the weekend.
Yeah, they could do it right after she gets confirmed and then drop some terrible stuff. So it's like, she's the nominee, but she's so damaged. People will be calling for her to be removed. I mean, it'll get nasty.
Yeah, they released their speaker list too, and it's pretty fucking shitty. Cory Booker, Barbara Boxer, Jerry Brown, Sherrod Brown from Ohio, James Clyburn, he fucking sucks. Cuomo, Howard Dean, yeah.
He's gonna yell again.
De Blasio.
See, half of those people are just hated right now. Like, everyone, de Blasio is doing a terrible job.
Al Franken might actually give a good speech.
SNO'd you?
Yeah, just because he's funny. Gabby Giffords, but she has to have her husband up there because Gabby's going to mumble her way through the word the.
Instead of having Bernie Sanders speak, they should have Larry David speak as Bernie Sanders.
I think Bernie is going to fucking cancel.
Yeah?
I really do.
Big if true.
Big if true. Maybe that should be our episode title this week. Big if true.
We've said it a million times. Well, I don't think I've said it. No, I don't care. So we still got Obama's brother, half brother.
Oh, that was not the most impactful news, but the most enjoyable news for.
It's really funny. It's really funny. So if our listeners don't know, he came out and said he'd be voting for Trump in this this go around.
And the best part is, I mean, that was Obama's best man in his wedding. So this is like a blood brother betrayal. Because Trump is his biggest nemesis. He'll unroll his entire legacy.
I hope.
Yeah. Pray for that.
Because, I mean, anything that he does is just not even, but the whites that are still left on the Democratic side, which is just the females, basically. And there's not very many, according to all and going back to the DNC leaks, there was the internal polling by the DNC, and white women hate Hillary.
Yeah. Well, because no one hates women more than other women. I mean, that's a fact.
It's true. But
It's one of the guiding principles of the universe. It's that women are total bitches to each other.
I lost my train of thought. Bastards.
I thought I got booted there for a second. You were talking about Obama's half brother getting on the Trump train.
Yeah, but I forgot where I was going to go with it. Oh well.
All
This
right.
is the point of the show where like we get too drunk and then we just kind of lose all trains of thought.
Right.
Yeah,
And then
I lose my train of thought all the time because I always have Twitter pulled up.
Gotta close that shit out, man.
Yeah, but how am I supposed to look at all my WikiLeaks stuff?
Yeah, happening might happen.
So
Happening will probably happen while we're doing this.
that German, there's more news on that. I guess we're not missing it really. Nothing really happened, but I guess there's two happenings. The one was a suicide bombing at the German wine bar. It was a 27-year-old Syrian. His vest went off prematurely, so he prematurely attaculated, and killed himself and injured only 12 other people. I say only. It's still fucking terrible. And then also in Germany, another Syrian refugee hacked to death a pregnant Polish woman. And then some dude in a BMW ran him fucking down.
Wow.
And there's footage of this. I really don't want to watch it.
Yeah, I'll probably skip the viewing of that. I watched enough vehicular manslaughter during the Nice incident.
The attacker, believed to have been acting alone, was only stopping a brave BMW driver, apparently plowed into him. This is from mirror.co.uk. And I saw the picture of him, and like his head's all fucking bloodied. And then there's pictures of the BMW with like zero damage to it. And the cops, well, I don't know if they're cops, but police employees or crime scene investigators they have like measuring tape up against the car. Shit. Like they're taking all these measurements, and yeah, it looks like there's zero damage to the BMW.
They better be taking pictures of that car so they can give it a medal.
Yeah. It's funny, the first two letters on the license plate are RT.
So DNC, should we make some predictions on if there's going to be any burnout chimp outs or general chimp outs or delegate revolts on the floor? What do we think the extent will be? I don't think it'll be.
She's still going to have that nomination,
but I think it'll be uncomfortable for them.
Yeah, they're hoping for a incident-free convention, just like they were hoping for an incident-rich convention for the RNC, and it's the Alaska delegation, the Utah delegate or Colorado delegation made a bunch of shit during the RNC, but that immediately got played down because Trump owns social media, so that got nowhere. But for the DNC, they're not going to be able to contain it.
Mm-mm. There's already some dude that got dragged out of the DNC yelling DNC like and holding up a sign.
There was, I think, a delegate in Vermont or New Hampshire got replaced because he was a white male, and they gave it to a black female. One of the delegates couldn't go anymore, or he was a replacement delegate, and they had to replace a replacement because they didn't want a white male there.
Wow. And that was Alaska?
No, that was Vermont or something. That's the DNC.
I was going to say, are there any non-whites in Alaska? I don't think so.
The RNC made Alaska tried to force a verbal count or whatever, but it doesn't matter because they're bound by state law to vote for the federal government.
The funniest thing was when I saw, because I have some normie friends that are Republican operatives. I have a friend who worked for Rubio, and he's still super anti-Trump. And then after
Did we just lose him again?
We lost him again.
God damn it! This is
maybe they don't like Oxy either, which I can relate to.
We lost you there for a minute, so you have to repeat yourself.
Oh, all of a sudden, I have a friend who worked for the Rubio campaign. He's an anti-Trump, never Trump guy, And, like, he was just freaking out so hard after the delegate vote, but it's based on what the actual people voted for.
And the biggest people that were complaining were the Colorado delegation, and they weren't even elected by the people. They were appointed.
I mean, they like to LARP about spreading democracy to other places, but they don't even like it here.
Yeah, it's what was that lady's name? Like Ura or something?
Who even cares?
God, she said she was like appointed by God or Jesus to come and stop Trump from taking office. It's like,
I guess God was fucking with her.
Yeah. She was praying to some dirty brown god.
Well, it's funny, like, pretty much every Republican candidate except Trump said that, you know, they prayed about it and God encouraged them to run, but Trump was the only one who actually won.
Yeah.
So I think God was just trolling everyone else.
Or, you know, God doesn't give a fuck about.
Yeah. Big if true.
Or you can take the stand that God doesn't exist. I'm not going to do that, but...
Well, Trump exists, so I don't know about that.
The God Emperor exists.
The God Emperor.
Yeah.
That's enough for me.
That's good enough for me. Well, and Kek exists.
And
We
Harada.
only worship Egyptian gods of chaos. And Sol Invictus.
Alright, before we get too LARPy, is that it for the week?
It's
We got
too
anything
late.
else?
I think that's it.
It's good to end with some intense LARPing, to just, you know, a real call to action to everyone to keep LARPing.
Don't... Remember, guys, don't dress for the job you have. Dress for the job you wish you had. So when
Yeah,
you're listening
that's
to this, when
basically-
you go to work on Monday, you got to be dressed for the right-wing death squads.
That's intellectual LARPing.
Hey, I just got my new fascia haircut. It looks really good.
I'm a little jelly.
I mean, what is meme magic if not intellectual LARPing? That's the question I leave you with.
Leave your answer in the comments, listeners.
I'm taking a bold, explicit stand in favor of LARPing.
All right. Well, everybody, thank you for listening. We are Exodus Americanus. Let's go through this bullshit that we do every week. Hit up Roscoe. He's the White Power Ranger. He's at Roscoe SB Jones on Twitter. Donald Bateman is at Nationalism Rise. I am at Exo Americanus. Website's ExodusAmericanus.com, SoundCloud.com/ExodusAmericanus. YouTube, search for us, Exodus Americanus, all that good stuff. Give another shout out to at JonahNot19 for that big donation. And guys, got anything else?
Well, I'm sharing we got a late question, and it's something that we definitely can't do on the fucking fly. I sent it in the chat.
On the Twitter chat? All
On the Twitter chat, yeah. From Obvious Turtle, at So Obvious Turtle. Could you please do a segment on Theodore Millen's nomadic subtype on the next Exodus Americanus?
And then a Wikipedia link. Yeah, we'll give it a shot.
Is this one of the Spurg disorders?
I don't know. I'll do a solid 5 minutes of reading about that and then formulate a grand opinion.
Right. All right, everybody.
Memes are always more powerful than facts.
They are. Yeah, remember, as Vox Day said before he Jewed out over Dallas, fight rhetoric with rhetoric.
Exactly.
And with that note, strength and honor, Goyam. We will catch you next time.
Strength and honor.
See ya. Strength and honor.
Oh, this is the song. This is Make America Great Again. It's a Facebook exclusive. Tweet your friends. Listen to this. America great again. We're gonna make America great again. We're gonna make America great. We brought in Kennedy from the MTV. Used to be at the MTV. Yoo-hoo, there's Kennedy. I think we got a top. I think we got a chart topper. We're gonna make
This was
America great again.
It's got to be one of those moments, like the first time you heard the Beatles.
It is. It's similar to that.
Yeah, exactly right.
Gwen Stefani.
Oh, I'll never forget that moment.
Yeah, at the pond there in Anaheim.
Stopped in my tracks.
Yep. So what do you think? That was, who was that again? Somebody Smith, no relation.
The Republican G.E. Smith.
G.E. Smith.
Yeah, the band director of the Saturday Night Live Orchestra.
What did you think?
Very tight musicians. They obviously rehearse quite a bit together.
Yeah.
I think they have some pre-recorded material that they've inserted new lyrics into. That's my guess.
That might be it.
Yeah.
Well, it worked, and it wowed the reporters here.
Yeah.
Reporters don't get wowed.
They don't get wowed.
No.
They are apathetic zombies.